Alright, I'm gonna start with the smallest tank. It's a 15-gallon flex cube. I've had this tank for, oh god, 7 years now. Just a couple little umbunas growing out there. A little OB umbuna, and then a little albino ice blue zebra. And we're gonna move on to the next tank. So I got them on night mode right now. They've been chilling after a water change and a couple of new buddies. We can turn them back on now. They've been chilling for a couple hours now, so they should be okay. We got Chug, big old giant Bosmani rainbow. Water's looking pretty good. Got a little algae, but I'm okay with that. It's good for your environment and your fish tank, as long as you don't let it take over. I kind of like to run my stuff like its own little ecosystem and kind of let nature do its thing as much as possible. So, got a little power head up here. Obviously, this is an African cichlid tank, even though I got this big rainbow here. So, a bunch of juveniles growing up right now. Power heads there for surface agitation. Right now there's just two hang on back filters here and air stone. Still plenty sufficient filtration for a 112-gallon tall. My water probably turns over about 8.5 times an hour, because they're two 500-gallon an hour hang on backs. There will be a canister or sump going on this eventually, but we'll get there. This is all just kind of the beginning of things. About a month back into big tanks. This one's been up for about a month, and then the next tank I'm going to show you has only been up for a couple weeks. All this rock, if anybody is curious, no, I did not spend hundreds of dollars on rock. Actually, pro tip, go to your local nursery. That's like plant nursery that I'm talking about. I got all of this Canadian river granite for 30 cents a pound. There's about 140 pounds in here, and I think I paid about $44 for all of it, if I remember correctly, after tax. So, got some peacock and hap type fish in here still, because this tank got set up first. They're going to move over to the larger cube, the 140-gallon. This piece of driftwood I've had for probably 6 or 7 years. It's been in many tanks for me. I love it. It's kind of like my tank starter driftwood at this point. But yeah, so here's what's going on in here. A bunch of juvies growing up, a couple rusties, red shoulder, redfin hap, there's an OB there, yellow lab, there's a rostratus right there. He's gonna get huge and beautiful. There's a bumblebee. There's a couple of guys here that I'm not fully sure of yet. Some of these I kind of just got from like a Petco when I was looking for a nice store in my area. And I got them from the mixed tank, thinking they might be one of 2 or 3 different types of fish. Used my best educated guess. And there goes the little sunshine guy. He's starting to color up a little bit. Come on, turn. There he goes. And there's 2 yo-yo bodia loaches in here. There's also 3 clown loaches. You see the smaller clown loaches going there. There's a frontosa as well. The bigger clown loaches are probably hiding. They like to go under this rock. But yeah, so everybody's kind of, they think they're getting fed. You know, it's funny. They just got fed a couple hours ago, but see, that's the thing with African cichlids. If you're new to African cichlids, they are always going to beg you for food. It's like having a dog that lives in the water. But obviously, you don't want to feed them all the time. These guys, currently I feed them about 2 to 3 times a day, with 1 rest day a week. I'll feed pellets once a day. Right now I'm using omega-1 cichlid pellets, and then I'll feed some brine shrimp, spirulina brine shrimp. And then the last feeding of the day just kind of helps out with their digestive and some of their health, rounds off their diet. They get fresh peas and some chopped garlic. So that's the 112 tall right now. And oh, there's also, oh, don't mind this. There's also a pothos plant growing here. Kind of just put it in there a couple weeks ago. Made this rack very cheap out of egg crate. Pretty economical. It's just egg crate, zip ties, and a suction cup that's holding it to the glass in the back. There you go. But yeah, pretty cheap, economical. These pothos, they will get pretty big, which is not a big deal to me. I kind of like the way it looks. If it takes over the top of the tank before I get a canister or something here, no worries. More decoration as far as I'm concerned. But it really helps with detoxifying your water, pulling out nitrates, nitrites, ammonias, things like that, because obviously that's nutrition for the plants. So let's go to the next tank. These guys were still on night also. It might be a little cloudy. I moved some substrate around in here earlier. We're gonna find out. Let's put them on. Oh, it's not looking too bad. So this fish tank has been up for about 2 weeks now. It's a 140-gallon glass cube. There's a Fluval FX6 filter on it. And then I have a 1,400 gallon an hour power head down here. Just kind of a cheapo for now. I might upgrade that later. And then I got plenty of room to put a sump down here eventually, which I would like to do. Gonna run that with the FX6, but there's the FX6. Always save your spare tubing. If you cut it, you never know when you're gonna need it. But yeah, I mean, both of these tanks, I got a pretty good deal. Between both of them, I bought them on Marketplace. Used, in good condition, obviously. And I think I paid, let's see, the 112, I got the tank, the stand, the light, and one of the filters that's on it. And I got that all for $400. And then I got this tank for $350 with the stand, the light, and the tank off Marketplace. So only $800 before I put everything else into it. We can get into that cost another time. I'm not going to do that in this video. We're already getting kind of long. Would rather talk about this tank for a little bit. Right now, I'm running the water a little bit high. Basically, it's just because most of the fish in this tank are new. I've only had fish in this tank for about a week, so I'm running the water temperature high because I want to help my good bacteria flourish and multiply faster, and also just in case any of these fish that are, you know, new in this tank came in with any type of diseases or anything like that, the warm water and the salt dosing should help with that as well. And then I also have a pothos here again. Now you can see a little bit better just how I kind of put that egg crate together. Real simple, didn't cost me much. Found a broken piece at Home Depot, got it for half price. I think is a 4 foot by 3 foot sheet, and I think I paid like $7 for it, and then a few dollars for some zip ties. So not too bad if you ask me. Eventually I'm gonna upgrade the light on this tank. It's a Fluval light. It's an older model. I'm not sure which. It came with the tank. And then substrate is just black sand and aragonite. The aragonite helps a lot with the African cichlids. It's good for Keeping your pH up and where it needs to be, because these fish like harder water and higher pH. So, you know, what's going on in here right now, I think this guy's going to end up being an electric blue. I'm not really sure. Didn't buy him as a labeled cichlid. That's a Venustus there, the guy with the camo pattern, or a giraffe cichlid. When he gets bigger, he's going to get some really blue lips. If he's a male, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be a male because he's longer and more kind of torpedo shaped and not as fat as a female normally would be. There's a little, we're out of focus. There's a little Taiwan reef in here. Little fairy cichlid as well. That is a hippo point salmon hap right here. Looks kind of drab right now, but this is how African cichlids go, as we all know. He's going to be a really pretty fish one day when he colors up. There's a little OB peacock that just went in here today. He's a new guy. And then there's a strawberry peacock there. Not quite sure which this guy is. I have an idea. I just haven't settled on a couple different fish he could be. Kind of hard to tell sometimes with juveniles. And then there's that Taiwan reef juvie. There's a couple silver dollars in here. They were the first fish that went in just to kind of start it up. And then way back here, there he is. The red empress that I just got and picked up today. Got very good colors on it already. I can't wait to see how that one comes out as it matures and colors up. But yeah, that's the tanks that are going on right now, and this is a startup. Might be picking up another tank soon. More to come on that if I do.